Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes and today I've come around the garage where I store Maud, my Mordor Mark II Escort, before work because I want to crack on with something that I've mentioned in my last two videos. I mentioned that there was a little job I wanted to do at home in my garden. Well, today I've come around the garage to deal with that, and that's going on in the background, so I hope the noise from that isn't stopping you hearing me too much. Someone in the comments section recently noticed that this label on the battery was a bit mangled, and they were wondering if maybe the battery was swelling. Well, I peeled this label back today and it looks like there's like a slit in the battery. Now, I would guess that that's probably more likely to be me damaging it with some sort of tool or something, or maybe I've put a soldering iron down on it or something and it's melted it a bit. It doesn't feel swollen, but there's definitely damage on the battery, so I'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. And let me just send a massive thanks out to everyone who has been in touch to give me advice with things. You know, if you see I'm doing something wrong, or you see I'm doing something where you've got a better method of doing things, definitely get in touch in the comment section or via social media. If we can keep helping each other out, then the channel's even more worthwhile continuing with. As time goes on and the channel gets more and more views, and I get more and more messages through social media, it is getting more and more difficult to reply to everyone, but I do try and reply to everyone. So if I don't reply to you straight away, you know, give us another nudge and hopefully I'll get back to you then. Right, so on with what's been going on in the background. As you can see, I'm using this torch to try and heat the ring gear, which will expand it slightly, and then it means that I can whack it off with a hammer and chisel. I did try this the other day, but I didn't have a very heavy hammer and it didn't work. And then I went out and bought some MAP gas. This is actually butane and propane mix. So I bought some MAP gas, which apparently burns 25% hotter, but the fitting on the top didn't fit my torch. So I thought I'd give it another go with this gas. I don't know if I can maybe try and get some MAP gas that does fit this torch. I'll have a look on my break maybe today at work. But yeah, I thought I'd give this another go. I don't think it's going to get it hot enough, to be honest, but we'll see. So there it is, one ring gear removed. Now if I lay this ring gear onto this standard Zetec flywheel, you can see that they are the same size in terms of the inner diameter, but the outer diameter, the standard one, definitely pokes out 0.5 millimetre to 1 millimetre more. So I'm hoping that once I fit this ring gear to this flywheel, I'll be able to reuse this light flywheel. If I can't use this, then I'll be buying one from Turbo Sport, which is the same brand of flywheel that I got fitted to the Mark I. This one's an IK engineering one, and I know that some of his stuff is a bit oriental, but if we can save it by using this ring gear, then it will save me about 250 quid. Right, I've run out of time now, so I need to get to work, and I don't think there was enough gas left in that canister to get the other ring gear off the other flywheel anyway. I'm going to see if I can get some MAP gas to fit my torch today. If not, I'm going to buy another can of that butane propane mix, because at least I know that it does do the job just about. Got some sticker orders to post today, so I'll be taking them to work with me. Thought I might as well give you all a mention, why not? Alan Flay, Braden Small, Martin Toon, Darren Walker, Chris Morris, Jensen Essex, Jonathan Shelley and Andy Steele from Canada. A massive thanks to everyone who has been grabbing some stickers, I really appreciate it. Anyone else who wants to grab some, all the details are in the description of this video. And don't forget, for every 2 stickers you buy, you get one of these smaller ones absolutely free. Winston. As you can see, I travel quite heavy nowadays. Got my mobile office in there, got my MacBook and my diary and stuff and headphones so I can do some video editing on my break. Got my lunch that my lovely girlfriend Kat made for me, and this is just my work bag. I've got keys in there and extra clothes, which is essential, especially this time of year. Yeah, YouTube is becoming like another full-time job for me at the moment, but I'm loving every minute of it, and all the positivity that I get from you guys makes it all worthwhile. Yeah, definitely getting some knocking coming from Winston's front suspension when I'm going over bumps and that. We've done the wishbones probably 2 years ago now, so I'm hoping they haven't gone again. We didn't do the drop links at that point though, so maybe it's them. Be another job for me to do in the future. He's done 79,000 miles now, which probably means he's due a clutch soon. It does slip a tiny bit when I do like full throttle shifts, which I shouldn't be doing really. So maybe Winston will be getting a bit more love on the channel soon. Seeing as my day job literally involves me driving around in my van and picking up mail from post offices and post boxes, it makes it a little bit easier for me to post out your orders. I won't be throwing your orders in with everyone else's mail though and letting them go through the machines. I'm going to personally post them into the correct pigeonhole in the manual sorting frames. Hello. Right, 2 days have passed since the last clip, and yesterday I picked up my brand new wheel cylinders from Euro Car Parts. On my break yesterday I managed to get the ring gear off of the stock Zetec flywheel, which I'm hoping to put on the light flywheel in a minute. And over the last couple of days I've had these parts through the post as well. A brand new genuine Ford clutch fork, which is the only thing I didn't change last year every time I changed the clutch. So just in case that's what's causing the rattle, I've got a brand new one of them. The only thing I can think of is maybe this bit here is a bit worn and then it's just vibrating a bit too much on the pivot pin. So yeah, when I change the clutch this time, which hopefully won't be until I put the ST170 engine in, I'll be putting this fresh clutch fork in. And on the subject of clutch, I've also had my new clutch through the post from Turbo Sport. Now this time I've gone for a paddle clutch. I've never had a paddle clutch before. I've heard that sometimes they can be a little bit of a nightmare in traffic and stuff, but you know, I changed the clutch on Maud like 3 times last year, and this is rated to 230 foot-pounds, which is way more than Maud is ever going to produce. So yeah, hopefully 2020 will be the year that Maud only has one clutch. Now if I don't manage to save the light flywheel that I've got by putting the stock Zetec ring gear on it, Turbo Sport is also the company that I'll be going to for a light flywheel, as I've got one of their light flywheels in the Mark 1 and it is really good quality. I'll leave a link to Turbo Sport's website in the description of this video, so go and check them out if you're after any clutches or flywheels, but they do loads of other parts as well. Now the other day I actually put the light flywheel in the freezer. It's just in there, inside a bag. And that's going to mean it's going to shrink just a fraction of a millimetre, which should help get the new ring gear on. And the ring gear is currently being heated up on the stove. Now obviously if the stove doesn't get it hot enough, I'll just use my blowtorch thing, but you know, I'm hoping this will work, especially seeing as the flywheel itself is in the freezer. Right, so now I just let that cool down and the ring gear will shrink onto the flywheel and then it'll be on there super tight. There are bits where there's a little bit of a gap, and basically the other day when I was trying to do this with a hammer that wasn't big enough, I kept missing and hitting the flywheel itself, but I think it'll be alright. Right, I've probably got about 45 minutes until I've got to leave for work, and Kat's here to give me a lift if need be, but I'm going to quickly go around the garage and see if I can get those wheel cylinders fitted. Well, I might as well christen my new overalls. Got the car jacked up, got the wheel off, got the brake drum off, and this is the offending article. Looks like the new ones I've bought are the same, which is always a good sign. Now the way this is bolted to the back plate is with 2 little bolts in these holes, and in these 2 holes go the brake pipes, which you can see there. On the other side you have 1 brake pipe going into it, and then you have the bleed nipple on the other one. So with these cars you only need to bleed 1 side on the rear brakes. Now before I can get the wheel cylinder off, I'm going to need to remove the brake shoes, and they're just basically held on with these little pin things. If you grab hold of this washer thing here and twist it 90 degrees, I'll have to use my other hand to hold the pin still from the back, and then that will basically come off, and then you can remove the brake shoes. I forgot to remove the pin for the handbrake cable. Alright, maybe I didn't need to remove that pin. It's been a while since I took brake shoes apart, so just learning as I go. Anyway, now I can remove the wheel cylinder. And I'm really hoping that these brake pipes and these bolts don't get messed up. Give it a decent spray with brake cleaner. All right, my memory card just filled up, so I don't know how much you saw, but I've got it all back together now. Got the brake shoes refitted. Now, you shouldn't really reuse brake shoes when you change wheel cylinders. You should just replace the whole lot. But I don't want to change my brake shoes until I've definitely sorted out my wheel bearings, because one side, I can't remember which side it is, does leak a little bit of oil from the rear wheel bearings. So once I've sorted that, I'll be replacing the brake shoes, and I'll probably put a new set of brake drums on it as well. Hello, right, so welcome to another day around the garage before work. I have now fitted the rear brake cylinder to the passenger side. Everything's all back together. Put some copper grease where it was needed. I didn't have that with me yesterday, so I've done the other side as well. Now, yesterday I put out the video where I did the diff gasket on this car and obviously used the brake drum as a hammer, like an idiot. Now, basically, it was slightly warped around here, and what I did was I put a wheel spacer on, like that, and then put the drum on, and then basically done it up tight, which then forced the spacer against the drum, which then made the shape correct again. It was still a really stupid thing to do, and I probably would never do it again, but the only reason I've done it the other day is because I know that I'll be changing the brake drums soon anyway, so. Right, so all I need to do now is bleed the brakes. And Kat, my glamorous assistant, has come round to give me a hand, but she doesn't want to be on camera this morning. Now, I only have a tiny bit of brake fluid, but hopefully that'll be enough. Pump it half a dozen times, and then hold it down until I say, and then when I say you can let off, pump it like 3 times, hold it down till I say, you know the drill. Go on. Yeah. Go on. Right, so I think that's all the air out. This pipe is not that see-through anymore, and it's not very long, so I do need to get another bit of pipe, but Kat said the brakes feel brakey, which is how they're supposed to feel, so all good. Right, so I'm ready to leave for work now. I've got loads of sticker orders to post out today, so I thought I might as well give you all a mention. Right, so we've got Ian Days, Stephen Kennell, David Cooper, Graham Freestone, Chris Jackson, Danny Baxter, Michael Jones, Sean Cartwright, Nigel Cook from France, and John Squires, and I'm just waiting for him to send me his address. So yeah, massive thanks to everyone who has been buying stickers. I really appreciate it. Now, I better get myself to work. I'll just give you a quick look at this Volkswagen Polo that belongs to my pal at work. It's running a VAG 1.8 turbo 20 valve engine. I'm not sure if it's a Volkswagen one or an Audi one or a Skoda one, but yeah, they're all pretty much the same. It's running 380 bhp, this car, and he showed me the graph as well. So yeah, big power, but that's a lot of fun. Right, I need to get into work now, so I'm going to end this video here. If you thought this video was any good, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you could share it in any Facebook groups you're in, that would be epic. If you didn't think it was any good, feel free to give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe and activate the notification bell to be kept right up to date with any other videos that I post in the future. Make sure you check out my Facebook and my Instagram, and I'll leave the links you need for that in the description, along with my email address for anyone who wants to contact me. And for all of those who want to purchase stickers, I'll leave details about that in the description as well. So, other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.